So, I've never done this before, but I guess sitting home for a month makes us do things we wouldn't have thought of doing before. Um, there is so much crazy shit out there right now, one way or another, with there's nothing going on, there's nobody dying, the numbers are inflated, which I don't believe at all. Um, People are dying because of this. Watch Jason Burmas. The whole reason I'm making this is Jason Burmas. Watch him, check him out. Um, so one of the two doctors that discovered the HIV, um, he's coming out and saying that he's looked at the genome, he's looked at this disease. There's parts of HIV in it. The only way it can get there is with molecular lab or in a lab with molecular tools. Um, Now I'm hearing today that it's not only affecting lungs, and some of these patients that are recovered, supposedly recovered, they're not only is it reactivating and becoming live again in them, and they're testing positive for a second time, but now I'm hearing that in men that it's actually attacking our boys. And so is this? I believe it's engineered, but is this a population control thing? I don't know what's going on. I'm throwing it out there. I'm not saying I know anything. I don't. I'm sitting at home. I've been here for a month, gardening with my 5 year old. We're just, yeah, we're doing nothing like everyone else. I don't know anything, but I know there's so much misinformation out there, especially from mainstream media. You can't watch it. Any information you get from anyone, double check it. Just look it up for yourself. Half of it's being monitored and taken down, but you got to do the research for yourself. You got to find out what to believe. Don't just take what somebody tells you. Um, they're saying that it's actually staying in our boys, longer than it's staying in the lungs. And they are believing, and now there's studies being done right now, that it could make them infertile. You're sterile. Is this. Which gets me to my third little thing, Bill Gates. So, we've never had a vaccine in the history of man created within a couple of years, multiples of years. Now, all of a sudden, within a year and 4 months, Mr. Gates and his foundation's going to have us a vaccine that's going to cure everything. When him and his foundations talked about nothing but population control for the last 10, 12 years. I don't want that. I'm not taking it. My son's not taking it. I mean, I'm not one in conspiracy theories for vaccine. I've been fully vaccinated. My son was fully vaccinated. This is something different to me. This is no way. And is it going to be a forced thing? Are you not going to be able to go back to work unless you're vaccinated at some point? Like, what is going on here? Um, the the whole China thing. Anybody that believes anything coming out of there, they'd have admitted they lied and hid it for the first couple weeks. Why would you believe anything past that? I, it doesn't. I'm no brilliant guy, but I know you're obviously lying about something or everything. In my opinion, everything. You can't trust any of it. Um, it's just unbelievable what's going on. Um, Several states have eliminated the purchase of seed and gardening supplies. You have multiple food processing and meat processing plants closing down left and right. You have food shortages being talked about everywhere. And you're going to eliminate our chance to be able to provide for ourselves. How is that not a necessity? And this isn't my biggest gripe. My biggest gripe is Virginia. Governor Northam, I believe his name is. What a piece of crap. I'm trying to watch my language here. It's getting really hard. So he signed in, I believe it was last Friday, Senate Bill 70 and House Bill 2 to restrict our Second Amendment even further. He's tried passing this several times in the past. The last time, 30-something thousand Virginians descended on the Capitol and put a stop to this madness. So, like a thief in the night, while everybody's stuck at their house, wondering what's going on, and everybody's a little bit in bewilderment because nobody knows what's coming next. Nobody knows what's happening tomorrow. This guy slides it through. this guy. I just want to read it. The Second Amendment states, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now I just want to go over the regulated part. When this was written, the cutting edge firearm of the time was a regulated weapon. Just take that, just process that for a second. Think about that for a few moments. The cutting edge weapon of the day when this was written was a regulated weapon. In my mind, and I could be reading this wrong, this is stating to me, to protect our freedoms and our rights, we should be allowed the same weaponry to defend ourselves as our military. So we can defend ourselves from our military if needed. We are already being infringed upon. Everybody needs to be aware. Don't get sucked into the Netflix all day long. Be productive with your day. Do something. If it's just Googling or searching for the information you just got from whatever news you want to watch, just to make sure they're not sliding something past you, because it's very manipulative the way they'll word certain things and then get the answer they want. Depending on what network you watch, it's obvious what agenda they're pushing. Educate yourself. Know what's going on. Be informed. Everybody should stand up for the state of Virginia right now. This is bullshit, trying to infringe on our Second Amendment, our right to keep our freedoms. There's only one other amendment. The First Amendment says there will be no laws made. Okay, that specifically says there will be no laws made for that. The Second Amendment's the only one that says shall not be infringed. That's laws. That's any way you want to look at it. You shall not infringe upon our rights. And if we don't stand up together and join your local 3%, join your local militias, and stand up for our rights in unison together, they will take our rights. This is the first one of many. There's a lot of people out here that are being monitored and taken off. Find them. There's a lot of people giving valid information from what they're seeing firsthand, what they're getting. Process it. Think about it. Don't just watch your local network and go about your day. Don't be blinded. God bless. I hope everybody stays safe, and we'll see what happens tomorrow.